Find a comfortable seated position for this very gentle yet full body, either wake up or calm down set of stretches. In a cross-legged position, we'll begin with the neck, just gently tilting the head to one side, perhaps placing one hand on the heart and moving into the tightness, finding where you feel that resistance and stretching in the opposite direction. Direct your breath not just deep into your lungs, but also into any tension that you find. Just gently observing the sensations you come across and pushing to the edge of your comfort zone, and then just breathing into the tightness, encouraging it, inviting it to release and relax. Next, extend the fingertips out long, drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears as you lift and open the chest. Breathe deeply. Lean into the right arm and extend the left arm as high as you can, opening through the side body, opening through the ribs, and drawing the hips into the floor, creating space. Thread the arm through and open up through the back side of the body. Engage your core and lift your pelvic floor as you breathe deeply. And then extend that arm back up to the ceiling, open and place it on the floor, and switch sides, extending the right arm straight up, opening through the side body, reaching the arm back as you open through the shoulder and chest, and then threading the arm through, walking the fingertips and creating some traction in the spine as you breathe deeply, still engaging the core, still lifting the pelvic floor. Extend the left arm back up and then return it to the ground, returning to that seated position. Open the legs so that they're not compressing one another, and extend the arms high overhead, and then pour yourself forward, pressing back into the hips and grounding as you walk the fingertips forward. Allow the head to fall between the arms and just stretch through the back and side body and waist. Feel it deep into the hips. Breathe deeply. Lengthen as you reach forward and press back, and then engage the core and round back up to a seated position. Bring the left knee in and cross the leg so that the left foot's on the outside of the right knee. Use the left arm as a second spine to elongate. You never want to twist a bent spine. Extend the right arm straight up and then do about half of a twist, bringing the elbow to the outside of that left knee and anchoring and creating space by lengthening up. Then lift into the twist, moving first through the belly button, then through the chest, then through the shoulders. Release slowly and uncross the legs, moving the opposite leg in front. And we'll begin with a hip stretch. Extend the arms straight up, and once again, pour the body over, pour the chest over, and drop the head between the arms, feeling the traction as you press back into the hips and reach forward through the fingertips. Engage the core and take a really deep breath. And just relax, feel yourself ground. And then slowly walk your way back in, come back to a cross-legged position, now with the right leg crossed over the left knee, and the right arm the second spine, reaching and extending through the left arm, anchoring at the knee, and then gently moving from the bottom up into the twist. Lengthen first, and then move from the belly button, ribs, chest, shoulders. Open the heart and chest and take a nice deep breath. Twisting is the only way we can stretch the muscles around our low spine, so that's why it feels good. Go ahead and release. Place both feet flat on the floor and the hands just behind you with the fingers facing your butt, and then press up into an upside down table. Spread the fingers wide and press evenly through the hands. Same thing with the feet. Spread the toes and create a solid foundation of support. And then begin to lengthen through the spine, opening the front side of the body. So drawing the shoulder heads farther away from each other as you open the chest. Draw the tailbone down as you lift up through the hips. Open through the top of the legs as you press the quads higher. This is the counter pose for our everyday life where we spend so much time hunched forward. So take a big breath in and then begin your release. And move back into an open cross-legged position, leading with whichever leg and hip were on the inside last time. Once again, feel the traction as you press back into the hips and reach forward through the fingertips. Engage through the core, drop the head through the arms, and breathe into any tightness you're experiencing in your hips. Just release and relax. Engage your core as you release, slowly walking your hands back in, and then move into a lying down position. We're going to do a little bit more work with the hips and low back. The first we'll do the figure 4, so go ahead and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Pull the belly button in and press the low back into the floor to make sure you're safe. And then add some push and pull. You'll push the right knee away and then reach around and grab the left knee and bring that towards you, which brings that ankle and shin bone into a perpendicular position with your spine. And that will begin to open the hip. So just bring it as far forward as you can that you kind of got that threshold of discomfort, and then just breathe into the tightness. See if you can manually override the release. And then switch sides. Again, making sure your low back is flat against the floor and you're not arched in any way. Also, pull the chin in and lengthen through the back of the neck. Notice the sensation of proper posture and good alignment, even as we're laying on the floor. And notice how that also brings in a sense of peace and calm. And then slowly begin to release. And we'll do another figure 4, where this one worked our hips. Now we will work on our low back with a twist. Bring the knees in and tee the arms out to the side. Lengthen the left leg long and then guide the right knee across the body and to the opposite side, the left side floor. Using the left hand to press the knee down, but make sure both shoulder blades are plugged into the floor. So you're reaching out over the right arm, looking out over the right arm, even as you have that diagonal traction pulling the knee to the left side. And then release and move to the other side. Now the right leg goes long as the left knee comes in and then crosses over the torso. Now you're looking out over the left arm. Both shoulder blades are firm against the floor. Belly is firm, taut. And then gently use the right arm to guide the right knee towards the floor, even as you stretch and extend in the opposite direction. Lying twists are the best way to stretch the low back because remember, you never twist a bent spine. So having the floor to stabilize you is a great way to do it safely. Another cause of low back pain is often tight hamstrings. And lying on the floor, again, we're stable. So extend the right leg straight up and don't push it here. Feel free to use a rope or some sort of band so that you can connect with your feet, or just wrap your arms around the back of your thighs and just lengthen. Flexing and pointing the toe will really open up the hamstring muscle. Keep the low back firmly planted into the floor and don't have the sense that you're reaching through the shoulders, creating any tension. And then do the opposite side, extending the left leg, pointing and flexing. Again, reaching where your comfort zone is, adjusting your hand to the back of your thigh as needed, and just breathing into any tightness that you find. Whenever you're stretching, feel like it's layers of an onion. Right when you think you've released tightness, then relax deeper and find a little more. So go ahead and release and bring the knees into the chest, and then roll up, and we'll do a little bit more for the front of our legs. For the hero pose, see if you can find a comfortable position sitting on your folded legs. Feel free to put a block under your tailbone so that you don't have so much pressure moving into your knees. And also, if your knees hurt, don't do it. This is a great way, if you have healthy knees, to stretch the front of your ankles, which often don't get stretched. Place the hands behind you, fingers pointing in towards your body, and then open up, once again, drawing the shoulder blades far apart, lengthening collarbones, opening chest, and then begin to lift through the hips. Keep the belly button engaged and draw the tailbone down. Breathe into the front side of the legs. Now you can hold this, you can release at any time, or you can move deeper into diamond pose. Just be very careful of your low back here. Keep your tailbone tucked as you draw down onto your forearms. Continue to open through the chest. If you want to take it all the way to the floor so that you're not on your forearms, you can do that. But lengthen through the front of the legs. So this is a deep quadriceps stretch. So keep the knees pointing straight and then gently lift through the hips just internally. And then feel that tightness and breathe into, again, the front side of the legs, releasing the quadriceps. Come out of this carefully and slowly, and then kind of counterpose your way into all fours, where we'll do some cat-cow to release the any tightness we got from those stretches. And just begin to arch your spine and draw your head between your arms. Really spread the rib cage and then move into the cow, moving your heart and chest forward. Big breath in. So you exhale as you arch like a cat, and inhale as you move into the cow. And just connect that flow of motion with your breath. And then we'll move into some spinal balance. So extend the left leg straight back, keep it in parallel with the floor, and then the right arm straight out, and feel your body work to stabilize. And keep your hips and shoulders square. Then, to add a little bit, the right arm reaches around and grabs the top of the left foot, and then try to open this into a bow. And do try to keep the shoulders square and the hips square once again. It won't be perfect, but just take a nice deep breath and feel the tops of the thighs as well as the chest open up. And then move to the opposite side, spinal balance. Extend the right leg back, parallel flexing the foot, and the left arm straight out, stabilizing hips and shoulders. And then begin to reach that arm around, grab the top of the foot, and press the top of the foot into the hand to create the lift. Opening through your heart, nice deep breath, breathing into the tops of the thighs, and then release. And we'll finish with a thread the needle for our shoulders and side waist. So open up and extend the right arm straight up, working to stabilize as you thread the right arm through, placing the right shoulder deep into the floor and rolling into that shoulder. You can extend the left arm straight out and walk the fingertips, creating length, or you can reach that arm around and grab the top of the right thigh. Just create as much space with this pose as possible, lifting evenly through both hips, and then switching to the opposite side, pressing back up into all fours, stabilizing hips and shoulders, and then open through the left side, threading that arm through and rolling deep into that shoulder. Walk the right fingertips out and stay in this position, or once you feel long, reach the arm around and grab the top of the thigh and rotate deeper, opening through the chest, keeping the hips stable, and just taking nice deep breaths. And beginning to release whenever you're ready, and pressing both palms into the floor, back up into all fours, set back into child's pose. So widen the knees and press the hips deep as you walk the fingertips far away. Drop the forehead to the floor. You can even gently stimulate your third eye by rubbing your head back and forth. across the floor. And just take deep breaths so that you feel your belly expand. Breathe into the back side of the ribs and the lungs, and just feel yourself relax. Finally, make your way all the way through all fours and down onto your belly, where we'll do a cobra stretch. So place your forearms on the mat, extend the legs long, top of the feet not curled, and then begin to lengthen your spine by pulling your chest through the arms. Engage the biceps here. Draw the tailbone long and feel the spine lengthen. And now we're ready to do a twisted cobra. So place the hands where the elbows were and lift up into cobra. Bend the right knee and look over the right shoulder, dropping the shoulder as you do, and then lower down with your exhale. And then inhale and lift up and look over the left shoulder with the left knee bent. Slowly coming back to the floor with the exhale, using the triceps here. Inhale and look over the right shoulder. And then exhale, return to the ground. Last time, one more time, inhale and look over the left shoulder. And then exhale and lower to the ground. And now release the hands from the floor and come up into a locust pose. So extend the arms long behind you, draw the shoulders back, lift as much of the thighs off the floor as you can, and lengthen through the top of the head all the way back through the tailbone. And then, as this is an intense pose, go ahead and release into the counter pose and move back into child's pose. Feeling the flood of relief as we relax the muscles that were just tense. Feel the heaviness of your body and just relax. Breathing into the belly. And then when you're ready, move into a seated position. We're about done. Kind of a meditative position, hands on the knees. And then just create your best posture. Pull your shoulders back, shoulder blades move down as your chest and heart lift. Your belly engages, your pelvic floor lifts away from the floor. Lengthen up through the top of the head as though there was a string attached. Chin pulls in, elongating the neck. And once you've got the alignment, just focus on breathing. And let's take 10 full deep breaths here. Breathing so that the belly expands. You feel the rib cage move outside the body. And then as you exhale, stay with it. Feel it draining. And visualizing any tension and tightness that haven't been released as just draining through the floor. As you exhale, be sure to clear out all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Follow the exhale so that any allergens and toxins that are in there can be released. And just breathe. See if you can focus breathing up to 10 deep breaths. Practicing the resistance to scratch an itch or fidget or get up. See if you can get to 10. This is the skill we're using to overcome cravings and urges. When we sit like this, it helps us learn how to override our impulses. And in the meantime, we're also stimulating our parasympathetic nervous system, which reduces our stress and helps us shift into a positive mindset. Stretches like we've just done also decrease our pain and our soreness and get our lymph flowing so our immune system is working and improves our circulation. It releases endorphins so that we feel a little more positive, a little more confident, a little more joy, a little more gratitude. It's really important to do what we've done and just take the time to spend, not just with ourselves, but with our bodies. And when you're ready, bringing your hands into heart center, gently touching thumbs to forehead and to mouth, and finally into heart center. And we end with the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.